Hello and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to do something a little bit different. I'm going to show you how to use Intel Arc GPU for AI image generator. Intel has developed its own AI software, way more easier to use than Stable Diffusion. Welcome to Respawn PC. I'm Dunk. Let's AI on. Starting off with Stable Diffusion with the Arc Intel A770LE, 16GB of VRAM. The process was a long process. It's not for the faint of heart. Besides installing the app like you would if you had the NVIDIA GPU, you needed to add some script and not forget to use a CPU, GPU in the proper order to finally be able to generate some image, and the process is long. I mean, it's free, you can do whatever you want. You have more option and more control about what you can do with Stable Diffusion, but you'll see as AI Playground from Intel, it's way much easier. There's nothing wrong with the Stable Diffusion, but if you just want to play around with generating some random image, it will be Intel AI Playground. To install AI Playground is super easy. You just Google Intel AI Playground. If you don't put Intel, you're going to end up with some other free AI design, NVIDIA AI Playground, whatever. So just Intel AI Playground. Scroll down a little bit from the link of Intel and go to AI Playground 2.0. Now it's version 2.5.0b. Just click on download to download the software. Once the download is finished, you just double click on the whatever you download and it's an executable, so you don't have to run any script in the background. You just double click, the installation started, next, choose where you want to install. Then the option it will give you, you can add comfy UI and yama.cppgguf. Me, I add everything because I'm trying and play with everything. And then you wait for everything to be installed and you're done. First, what you need to use AI Playground, it need to be Windows OS, so no Linux. You need an Intel Core Ultra H processor, Intel Core Ultra V processor, or Intel Arc GPU Series A or B discrete GPU with 8GB of VRAM. But I don't listen to those minimum requirements, so I'm going to still try every Arc GPU that I have in my possession. Now I have the Arc A770 8GB VRAM, but at the time of recording and testing, I didn't have it yet, so this card will be missing from this testing. Starting off with the A310, this is a 4GB VRAM card, so theoretically it shouldn't work or work properly. We're going to search a cat in a box, jumping from in a box. The first time you run the app is going to download some more assets to run the software AI Playground. And if you notice, when you go in the settings of the AI Playground, it's actually using Stable Diffusion. So all the add-on that you can download from GitHub and Humble Bundle or any other website that you can download assets to use on Stable Diffusion, the high chance is going to be functional also on AI Playground from Intel. But I won't go into the specific of those for this video. I'm just testing the Arc GPU with AI Playground from Intel. And like I said, I start with the A310, which only have 4GB of VRAM. I give up after 25 minutes trying to generate only one image of a cat jumping out of a box. After that, I quickly test the A380. This is a 6GB VRAM, but we're still under the minimum VRAM requirement, which is 8GB of VRAM to run AI Playground. I want to give it a try anyway, and we were able to generate an image after a really long time. Again, I stopped at 25 minutes because that was starting to get a long black screen with some white dot running for no reason, and I'm not even using a HD picture. I want to generate the minimum size and quality picture possible, and it still take that long. Jumping to the real first minimum requirement card will be the A580. This is a 8GB VRAM card, so we are in the minimum requirement to run AI Playground, and it make a huge difference because now we can generate 4 images of a cat jumping out of a box in 1 minute 10 seconds. This is a huge boost in performance and will be better even with a higher model card that we're going to check out following this one. And as you can see, you can play with all the settings, the basic settings on the side if needed, from HD to standard to whatever, and you can choose the quality, number of steps, and that's also where you can choose the model based on what. If you want a cybercat, you can also make a cybercat with the cyberpunk assets that you may have downloaded, or anime, or movies or whatever you want to generate. Next up we have the A750. We're going to still using the cat jumping out of a box, standard quality picture with 50 steps, and we get a similar result as the A580, just about 1 minute to generate 4 pictures of a cat jumping out of a box. I also want to check the VRAM usage, and we actually using the entire 8GB of VRAM. Next up I have the Arc Intel A770LE, a 16GB VRAM card, so we have double the minimum requirement of 8GB of VRAM. We're still going to only use standard quality picture with the same size to have a comparable result, and it does again quite a difference in performance. We're way faster, generating 4 pictures of a cat jumping out of a box, and the VRAM utilization, since we're not using maximum capacity, we're using 12.6GB of VRAM out of 16, so pushing the settings to higher quality to generate image is more than doable. Finally, the Battle Mage series of Arc GPU, the B570. This is a 10GB VRAM card, so we have 2GB VRAM over the minimum requirement, and we can generate the image quite easily and fast. In about 1 minute 10 seconds, again, similar to the A580 for some reason, we generate a cat jumping in a box. And you can definitely play with some of the settings for higher quality, more steps, less steps, and other assets. And finally, the B580. This is a 12GB VRAM card, and with the A770 is one of the 2 cards that can actually use the high definition and high quality picture mode. But for testing and comparison, we're going to keep at a standard and still have a cat jump in a box. And one thing you might find useful for the Intel AI Playground, you have a negative prompt. In this case, by default is NSFW. If you know what this means, leave it there if that's not what you want, because it gives you really wild things. Even if you only have a cat jumping in a box, be careful of what you're asking. And obviously the B580 was the fastest at generating 4 images of a cat jumping in a box in 40 seconds, even a little bit less, 37 seconds to generate 4 images. Here you have it, every Intel Arc GPU on the Intel AI Playground image generator. You need at least 8GB VRAM, so the A310 and A380, even though they can do the job, it takes a really long time. It's a nice little tool and easier to use than Stable Diffusion, but Stable Diffusion have more options and deeper configuration and settings. But if you just want to play around with the AI pictures and you have an Intel GPU, this is the perfect app. Easy to use, easy to install, easy to set up, and easy to generate. Thanks for watching, see you in the next one, and subscribe.